Oops, that was my cat. Welcome. We are on moth number 4. That means you are halfway done. We're gonna do cut turkey work for the body. If you remember back to the first moth we did, I'm just doing the exact same thing. So I'm gonna be making these. Uh-oh, I'm not doing anything right. Yeah. Looks like I had a situation. It is gone. Okay, let's try that again. This time without a situation. Alright. So we're going to do these little stitches. And we're going to pierce through them to make the next stitch. These can be nice short loops because this is going to get cut pretty short. And if you remember the last one, we just did the head, so there wasn't much to do in the center. But this one, since it's the head and the body, we're probably going to have to add a row down the middle in addition to doing this outline. Like last time, I'm directing the stitches towards the center of the shape. I'm doing much better with my loops this time. Last time I had some excessive loopage, so I was nervous. So you can see I like to hold my loop off to the side and down so I don't pull it out and so it stays out of my way. So now I'm heading back up this other side. How to do this? I definitely just poked myself. If I didn't have my hoop clamped up, I would definitely just be rotating my hoop. Let me rotate my body. Here we go. It's a little better. If you hadn't noticed, we're basically doing backstitch around the whole outside here. Just every other stitch is a big weird loop instead of a backstitch. And of course, the more loops we make, the thicker this will be. I've almost made it back. to the top. Hooray. Alright, so we should have loops on both sides here, and you can see we have a little hollow area in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and add some stitches in the center here so that we don't have like a bald spot. And yeah. As far as which way to direct these stitches, I can go random. Maybe alternate which side. Just make sure each loop is being tacked down with a little stitch. It's okay if the stitches that are doing the tacking down, it's okay if they don't touch. They did on that outside part. They didn't have to, but they really don't have to in here. You may find it easier to do this center row I'm doing, to do it first. Or to do one side first, and then the center, and then the other side. There's a lot of different ways to do this. So right now I'm anchoring underneath. And let's see, are there any holes that are bugging me? I don't see any, but I'm just gonna come back up over here with my thread and cut it and get back in my chair as I was sitting on the floor. And we're gonna do a big trim here. Definitely will need to vacuum later. And it's up to you how you want to shape your turkey work. How long you want it. I like to do a little shorter at the edges. So there's more finessing I should be doing, but we will move on. So for the antenna, I just continued with this thread and did some padded satin, and I basically just like did an inner layer of satin. Oops. Just add a couple stitches on the inside, and then do the outside stitches for these nice, they're voluptuous, really, these antennae here. So keep your tension pretty loose on this, so that these look nice and poofy. And you can even come in with your needle and puff them up a little bit, or if you feel like you need to add another stitch down the center, sometimes that can help. Lovely. All right, I'm going to park this over here. Oh, so nice and fuzzy. I love it. Okay, so now we are going to come in and start filling. Let's see, let's do the lines first. So we're going to do back stitch along here, 2 rows. So I would just do 1 row on one side and 1 row on the other side. Or whatever. You know what? Let's just go right on the guideline and then, so I don't have to think too much. So I made these like fairly large and textured, I guess. It's kind of a interesting contrast between these lines going down the side and then the single strand that we'll use to actually fill the rest of the wings. Oh, and you may find that you actually want to do this back stitch after you fill the wings, like how we did with Moth 3, the previous Moth. This we're kind of working in the opposite way, which I think is good. I mean, you know, try both ways and see what makes the most sense for you. If you want to fill with the single strand and just leave this little tiny gap and then do this back stitch on top, you can do that. I'm going to do it the opposite for this one, and it'll just mean that I really need to be careful when I'm approaching this line because I want to make sure I stitch right up to it and even tuck some stitches under it so that we don't have any gaps. So these are nice big stitches, like I said. I'm staggering the 2 lines so that the back stitches don't line up exactly. You could also do it that way where they line up perfectly with each other. That would also look cool. Awesome. So I will just park this down here for later and move on to filling. So we're going to fill that oval first. We're going to do the darker green color, and I went with a stitch direction like along the direction of the oval. You don't have to do it like that. If you want, you could have it more in tune with the stitch direction of the rest of the filling that we're going to do. I did it different just so it would stand out a little bit more. This is probably the trickiest of the butterflies. What? These aren't butterflies. These are moths. I mean, there's others that have like some trickier stitches, but I guess this is the one where like precision is the most important. And depending on what you like about embroidery, it might not be your favorite moth. Because we are using a single strand, it's important to stick to the guidelines and create nice edges. And that is hard. So do your best. Oops, there's a cat. Well, hello, princess. Yes. Please don't jump up on my lap right now. Come here, over here. No. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that? Okay, that looks alright. Okay, stop rubbing on that, please. Yeah, you're very sweet. Okay. So, oh dear. Go somewhere else. Go find someone else's lap. Alright, so now I have my off-white. I'm going to use that on the tops up here. So this line here is my roughly where to change the color. It's also pretty much my stitch direction. So if you want to add some more indications for yourself to keep that stitch direction mostly even, you can. All right, let's see, where should we start? Maybe on the edge. So, like I said, I'm just going to concentrate on making my edges precise, stitching right up to that back stitched line. Oh, my eyes are feeling a little too tired for this. Let's see how far we get. Make sure you have good lighting. Make sure you have your glasses on if you need glasses. Double check that you're using off-white and not yellow, light yellow. Okay, I'm not going to go any further up right now because I'm afraid I'm going to bonk into that edge there. So we'll start going, oops, oh no. Start going this other way. So it's up to you if you want to come up on the edge or come up near the line. Both have their own difficulties. like I skipped some stitches there, huh? That's okay. I'm just going to go back and add them. I'm definitely not quite where I want to be with my stitch direction, so I'm going to kind of slowly do something about that. So I made like a half stitch there. I'll go like that. I'll do something like that again. Up in there. So you can see I'm trying to rotate a bit. Now what's going to happen over here is there's some very long stitches in this section, right? Here, here, down here. So you're going to have to kind of add some split stitches. So just make them big and try to, I don't know, blend them in. I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going and see what happens. Like, how long can we make our satin stitches? I know I've made longer ones than that before. I guess it's up to you. If you want to just keep going with satin, or if you feel like you need to split some of them because they're getting long. My stitch direction is still a little bit off, but I'm working on it. Trying to. It's a little better. I definitely see some holes in there I need to go back and fill in though, which is fine. Okay, so once we get near, well, let me do this before I get too far ahead of myself. This hole in particular is bugging me. Okay, so here we need to start stitching around our oval. So again, you have to be nice and precise because we want to go up to the oval, not over the oval. We want to accentuate the oval. We don't want to drown the oval out. And you might find that you do all the stitching and you decide that your oval got kind of lost, or the shape got kind of messed up a little bit, and you need to go back with this color and kind of add a couple more stitches, and you can absolutely do that. Okay, so we're at like the change, where the color change should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple stitches beyond it. And that will help kind of blend between the two. Probably looks weird right now, but just give it a shot. Same on this side. You can add as many or as few of those as you want. And likewise with the other color, we'll be doing the same thing into this white section. So I still need to fill in up here. And I see some some areas in here I want to come in and continue to fill, actually. Let's see. So again, it's absolutely okay to come back up and add more stitches. Fill in any holes that are bugging you. I'm going to sneak in like a stitch right here. Alright, I'm almost out of this color. I still have more to fill, but since I'm here, let's go ahead and use the light blue color and start coming in here. It actually looks like from my sample hoop, I kind of changed the stitch direction near the bottom of the wing to be more flat, which we can do. So that means like down here, we're basically just going straight across. There's some long stitches. So if you feel like you want to split them, go for it. Cat's back. Hi, honey. Cook. Oh dear, stop that. Come over here. Okay, so I'll then come up here and add just a random stitch here to kind of blend between this blue and the off-white. It's okay, I have a hole here I need to cover. And then, of course, I have to fill down here. And just these random little straight stitches of a different color mixed in with this satin stitch will help blend between the two colors. And that's pretty much it. So for the bottom wing, it's the same thing. We don't have that circle to worry about. And you know what? If the circle or oval, if it gives you too much trouble, skip it. Don't do it. Just don't have anything there. Or you could always just stitch it on top when you're done. You could try that. So yeah, so for the bottom, we use 3 colors, but it's the same. We have our back stitch line, and then we do this satin stitch, occasionally doing split stitch if needed. I feel like I've missed a bunch of my guidelines, so I'm going to stop before I make it worse. And I'm going to take a break. This is a long one, so take your time. You can do it.